Hey, listeners and hearers, welcome back to Imagination Station. I'm your host and favorite author, Lisa Walker McCrae, with another stimulating story time from the pages of my novel, A Peculiar Kind of Love. Remember, you guys, this video is for entertainment purposes only. First and foremost, let's give that big praise to the Most High Yah and a special shout out to those that are still chiming in. Like always, I appreciate your time, love, and support. With that being said, y'all about ready to turn some pages? Get those imaginations stimulated? Cool, let's get into it. Charm C, set the stage. Okay, loves, quick recap. On our last trip into our imaginations, Marcus was robbed. Yes, held up by some youngster. This brought back hidden fears and locked away anger, which unfortunately left our boy at the point of no return. Marcus was camped out, waiting to confront Reggie, the guy who'd robbed and shot his parents. Now, Jay tried talking him out of this, but as you can see, his words fell on deaf ears. Marcus was determined to help Reggie understand he was to stay clear of his family or there will be consequences. Fortunately, on a more positive note, Detective Miller, who was also the cop first on the scene when Marcus's parents were violated, had the young man who robbed Marcus under radar. Baby, Marcus needed to be the one under radar. How will this unfold? I know you're here to find out. So let's get into it. It's Marcus's and Drew's big day. Yes, hearers and listeners, it's finally wedding day. Drew stood at the top of the stairs at the Victorian home. She was gorgeous. The strapless wedding gown she wore would make the Queen of England envy her. The veil and train looked like a flowing river of milk. Diamonds hid amongst the lace, sparkling with each glimmer of light that hit them. The Victorian home itself was transformed into Drew's own personal lily garden. There were red lilies everywhere. The front yard, the backyard, doors, walls, and stairs. Elegance. Everything was unique elegance. Drew could hear Luther Vandross's Here and Now playing through the house with echoes of Monte and Dean calling her name. She couldn't respond. Drew stood motionless, staring into space as tears flowed down her face. She tried to stay strong, but the stronger she became, the weaker Drew got. Jay ran up the stairs. Just as he made it to the top, Drew fell into his arms. Going in and out of consciousness, each time her eyes opened, she received the flashes of everyone in a panic. Carl demanding everyone to back up. Mate praying, Dean crying, and Jay encouraging. Jay gently strokes her face with a cold towel. "It's okay, Drew, you just passed out," he whispered. Feeling Jay's tears hit hers, Drew tried gathering herself but didn't have the strength. After a moment, she finally regained consciousness. Jay and Carl helped Drew to her feet. She could see the wedding guests at the bottom of the stairs, confused about what was going on. "Come on, Drew, you need to sit down." Jay tried sitting Drew on a bench behind them, but she demanded to be taken away from the crowd. Mate was beside herself. She didn't know what to do, what to say, what actions to take next. So she asked everyone if they could go to the backyard where hors d'oeuvres would be served. She then rushed off to assist with Drew. Mate asked everyone to leave the room. Reason being, Drew was a very private person, and all the added attention would only make matters worse. Besides, she needed this time alone with Drew. Mate closed the door. Drew stood motionless, staring out of the bay window overlooking the small lake. She was numb. There was nothing that could shake her from the hurt pulling at her heart. Mate stood behind her, watching as a crushed soul tried holding herself together. She didn't know what to say. She had no words, so Mate stood there in silence with Drew, waiting to be called upon. Drew's eyes were glued to the lake. She silently chanted, "I will not let this hurt succeed. I will not let this hurt succeed." She stated the words sternly to self, trying to make them stick. Tears streamed down her face. The more Drew tried to hold them back, the harder they fought to come out. She couldn't grasp what was going on. Everything felt surreal, and she was about to lose it at any moment. Drew needed a way out and fast. So she searched the archives of her memory and replayed one of the funniest memories from her childhood. The year was 1989, and it was 3 days until Mate's birthday. Well, Drew and Jay wanted to get her something special but didn't have the money. So the pair put their heads together, trying to figure out a way to make some money. These two came up with a brilliant plan. They took all the Thrifty Nickel newspapers from the Easy Mart and sold them for 50 cents at the laundromat. From beneath the tears, Drew chuckled, recalling how furious Pop Tate was after Brother Shamir told him he'd seen them selling complimentary newspapers at the laundromat. These two right here. But hunty, let me tell you, do y'all remember the Thrifty Nickel newspapers? I used to hit them up every time I went and washed my car. I promise that is like the best thing to clean your windows with. Anybody old school know what I'm talking about. You hear me? Okay? Anyway, Mate watched Drew. She wanted to hold her, but she knew Drew was better with self-soothing at this point. There was a knock at the door. Dean stuck her head in. "Is it okay if I come in?" she asked. Drew didn't object. Hell, she was still chanting in her head, unaware that anybody had even knocked. Mate gave her permission. She knew Drew wouldn't mind, and Dean would be good for her right now. Dean entered the room. "Hey, I got some tea for you, honey," she informed. Observing Drew, she could see tea was not what she needed at this time. So she set the cup on the dresser, then took a seat beside Drew in the bay window. She grabbed Drew's hand, breaking her chant. Drew looked at Dean with tear-stained eyes. She began to repeat the chant, but louder this time. So loud, everyone standing outside the door could hear her. "I will not let this hurt succeed. I will not let this hurt succeed," Drew proclaimed. Her whole body shook. She was so upset. At this point, it didn't matter how many childhood memories she replayed. Nothing could suppress the hurt she was experiencing. Noticing Drew was on the verge of a panic attack, Dean hurried off to the bathroom to retrieve a warm towel, hoping the warmth would calm her. Mate hurried over to Drew. It hurt her heart to the core to see her like this. She rubbed Drew's chest in an attempt to calm her, but she kept repeating the chant louder and louder as if it was giving her power. Dean emerged from the bathroom with a towel and placed it on Drew's neck. She continued to chant, "I will not let this hurt succeed. I will not let this hurt succeed. I will not let this hurt succeed." Stay with me, listeners. I know you guys are anxious to find out what's going on here. Well, we're about to find out after all this mysterious drama. So what we're going to do is fast forward a bit. It's the next morning and Mate rose with a heavy heart. "Toda for this day," she uttered. Reflections on everything that happened the day before felt like a dream until she noticed they were still in their wedding clothes, which snapped her back to reality real fast. Mate looked over at Drew, who was still asleep. She could tell it wasn't peaceful by the frown on her face and the restless movements. This hurt Mate. All she wanted was to see Drew win in life for once. The Tates had practically raised Drew, so when she hurt, they hurt. And all Mate wanted right now was to take that hurt away. Looking down at Drew, she began to pray. "Heavenly Father, I want to say thank you. Thank you for keeping us. I come to you asking for strength and guidance. My child needs you right now. I made a vow to her a long time ago that I would always be there for her, that I would be the stand-in mother she never had, that I would be the one praying for her because she had no one else to pray for her. I need you to please help her. Give her the strength you see she needs. I've always told Drew she can trust you. So now, my Father, I need you to show her that she can. Show her that she can give it all to you and you'll take care of it. The hurt Drew is experiencing right now, please, help her through it. Provide us with the guidance we need to help her through it. We need you right now. Please hear my cry. Please hear my cry." Upon finishing her prayer, Mate heard a light knock at the door. She gave permission for entry, hoping the morning guest didn't disturb Drew. Mrs. Tidwell, Marcus's mother, peeked her head in, motioning for Brenda to come out. Brenda complied. Raising from the bed, she followed Connie downstairs where everyone was gathered in the kitchen. As soon as Brenda walked in, a wave of questions about Drew's well-being flooded in from everyone. Ma Tate assured she was fine and she just needed to rest. Everyone was beside themselves. Joe handed Brenda a cup of coffee. After a quick scan of the room, Ma Tate inquired about Jay's whereabouts and if the group had any updates on the situation. Mr. Tidwell, Marcus's father, informed Jay and Carl went down to the police station and should have been back by now. Brenda looked at Joe with worried eyes. She spoke. "Joe, I've never seen her like this before. Drew didn't sleep a wink last night." With confidence, Joe assured their girl would be just fine, that she was strong and always bounced back. "This too shall pass, Brenda. Yah has everything under control," Joe encouraged. My man Joe always calm and on point, you hear me? Meanwhile, Carl and Jay stood at the receptionist desk at the Shiloh City Police Department trying to get information about Marcus, but the receptionist rudely ignored them. Carl let out a sigh, growing frustrated with the young lady who herself seemed to be overwhelmed. He thought she didn't have to be rude about it. Carl tapped on the window, getting the girl's attention. The young lady looked at him with annoyance. "Excuse me, ma'am. I need to talk to Captain Shedd. I need information about Marcus Tidwell," he asked and stated. "Yep, that's correct, you guys. Our boy is in jail." "Uncle, darling, what did you do?" "Ooh, we got a need to find out, so let's move forward." The young lady continued ignoring Carl, and he continued to grow more and more frustrated. Slapping his hand on the counter, he kept repeating, "Marcus Tidwell, Marcus Tidwell. I need information on Marcus Tidwell." We see who's not the calm in the storm. Fortunately, Detective Miller was walking by and heard Carl's rant. "Excuse me," Miller addressed, walking over to Jay and Carl. "I'm Detective Norman Miller. Can I help you guys out with something?" Miller extended his hand. Carl greeted, informing he was trying to get information about his son-in-law, Marcus Tidwell. Oh my goodness, what did Marcus do? And on his wedding day? Now we know he went to confront Reggie. But my goodness, what did he do for him to be sitting in jail? Now this was more than just a casual conversation. Wow. And on him and Drew's wedding day. Life be lifing for Drew in this village. I bet some of y'all feel just like my Tate and wish our girl could catch a break. Real spill, most of us have been in Drew's shoes. Trial after trial, test after test. Well, that's life. Whether it's you or someone connected to you, either way, our Creator will always send tests that will build your trust in Him. And baby, don't ask Him to increase your trust in Him. Please believe me, the test will be increased, just so He can build that trust in you for Him. And right now, Drew's trust is being built, honey. What will the outcome be? We shall find out on our next trip to Imagination Station. Until then, accept the trials and tests put before you. Be of good courage, for the trials are not meant to hurt you, but to help build your trust in the Most High. It'll also build character and endurance. Until next time, my loves, y'all bless this reading and yourselves. Smooches.